If you guys like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. My goal is to reach 100 subscribers and we are about halfway there. So I really appreciate it if you guys hit that like and subscribe button. And also I will leave the links to all my social medias in the description. Feel free to check me out on there. And with that being said, let's get right to the video. So the Los Angeles Clippers just came off of an interesting season, to say at least. And just before I start explaining everything, they did lose to the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference Finals, where they had a chance to actually make the finals, of course, but they didn't because they were missing Kawhi Leonard, and that is a big part of this video and what I'm going to be talking about soon. But yeah, Paul George is the main person I want to start with because if you guys remember, not too long ago, Paul George was one of the biggest memes on NBA Twitter. And it's like, even though he wouldn't play bad at all, pretty much, he would still get disrespected and act like he's like the worst basketball player ever. But in this playoff, especially without Kawhi, when Kawhi went down with that knee injury, that we still don't know what it is specifically, because it was rumors about torn ACL, but we haven't heard anything else since then. But yeah, Paul George has been balling out in the playoffs, and he has quieted all the haters, to say pretty much. He averaged 27 points in the playoffs, and that was enough right there to quiet everybody, or most everybody, because there's still some people out there who tries to find the smallest stuff to pick up his game, and I don't understand it. I never will understand it, but Paul George definitely has my respect now. And I remember I think this was actually the first video I actually made on the channel. It was basically when Paul George got extended for that 5-year, $190 million contract, and I was very questionable about it, and it still might be an overpay, but he has definitely shown that he is worth something, at least, especially after the last playoff series he had. And I don't know, it's just, I'm gonna wait to see what happens, because they traded for Paul George to get Kawhi Leonard, but now Kawhi Leonard is free agent, and Paul George, he could have became the free agent, but he signed that 5-year contract that I just said, and he is off the books now. And that was kind of the whole story of the 2021 free agency class. It was supposed to be LeBron, it was supposed to be Giannis and a few other stars, but they all signed extensions. So now the best player actually available is Kawhi Leonard. And with them losing in the Western Conference Finals, it is kind of disappointing, but if you think about all the circumstances they've gone through so far, it's not really disappointing. But the main question is Kawhi Leonard going to leave this team? Because he is definitely going to have a few offers from other places. I really don't know. I genuinely do not know, because first off, he wasn't playing, so he could have, maybe if he was playing, they could have got past the Suns and they could be in the finals right now, or they still would have lost. So I don't know really, but I want to see Kawhi Leonard stay on this team because I kind of do like the fit. Yes, they have been disappointed for the last 2 years, or you can't really blame them for this past year, but especially in that 2020 season with the bubble season, as people would want to say. Yeah, they definitely disappointed, but still, I do like the pieces around this team. But somebody who I actually do want to highlight on is Reggie Jackson, because he just balled out in the playoffs. And there was after they got eliminated by the Suns in 6, there was a press conference where he was crying. I don't blame him, because he balled his heart out, and I am sure the Clippers are going to try to bring him back because he is a free agent. And it's just a great story for him, especially because he was almost out of the league, or you could say he was out of the league pretty much, where he joined this team with not many expectations after being traded, and he was an amazing point guard for this team, especially with scoring 18 points in the playoffs. That's an amazing piece for his standards also, because I wasn't expecting that from Reggie, especially, and we all know from his OKC days, we all know from his Piston days, he was going downhill, and the Clippers saved him. Not the Clippers, I'm not blaming, or I'm not taking credit for the Clippers, because it was all him for sure, but it was just a really good piece with him. I really like the direction they're going, and yes, this team should be championship contenders. but it just hasn't really worked out too well. And they made some roster moves, of course, with the biggest one actually being for Rajon Rondo with trading away Lou Williams, which I was actually kind of surprised that deal actually went down in the first place. But it should definitely help. But where do the Clippers go on from here? They do have alright pieces like Marcus Morris, Pat Bev, who it really depends on how you think about him, but that's again your opinion. Rajon Rondo, who kind of wasn't the best player who I thought he would have been in the playoffs, but or for this Clippers team to be specific, but still, Montrezl Harrell, if he gets brought back, and it's just some good players for this team that I really do like. But do you guys believe they can be that championship team that we were expecting from them for next year or the year after? I don't know, because something just always happens pretty much. And like I said, bearing in injuries, maybe this team goes farther, but they do have a few free agency issues they have to deal with. And hopefully they can bring back their best pieces and run it back, I guess you could say, but healthy this time. Hopefully, but yeah. I believe this is a Western Conference Finals team, in my opinion. But can they get past the Lakers when they're healthy? I don't know. And there's some issues or conversations about LeBron's age and how is he going to perform this season. But I believe he'll be fine. But I don't know. We just have to wait and see what eventually happens and what goes on with this team, because I'm very excited for this offseason for this team, because they arguably have one of the biggest off seasons actually in the NBA. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. But with that being said, that'll be the end of today's video. And I'll thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe and just leave a comment. How do you think this team is going to perform next season? Just predict all the moves this team can make. Say you're the GM. What moves would you make? Just let me know down in the comments. But with that being said, I love every single one of you. And I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.